Introverted sensing, according to Jung, is your internal biological processes. I think it is essentially your limbic system, which is involved in encoding memories, regulating emotions, especially negative ones like fear, anxiety, and anger, and is where your fight or flight response is activated. In a nutshell, SI is all about survival. It is your stomach grumbling, letting you know that you need to eat so you don't starve and die. It is the sweat seeping out your pores to cool your body temperature because it is hot as balls outside and your body doesn't want you to overheat, have a stroke, and die. It is your desire or lack of desire for another individual due to the pheromones your sense of smell picked up on, and now you want to or don't want to mate with that person due to your body desiring someone that will give your offspring the best chance of survival by having a strong immune system. Yeah, baby, let me smell your pheromones. So my ESTPs out there that see the impending doom and the apocalypse coming when you are focusing on the future with your inferior introverted intuition and then instantly want to go stock up on supplies, that is a result of the fear you are experiencing from your introverted intuition inferior function activating your fight or flight response in your introverted sensing nemesis, telling your extroverted sensing hero to go stock up on shit so when the world comes crashing down, you won't die. And that, folks, is one of the ways you get a prepper. However, those that don't go out on a buying spree for ready-to-eat meals and a bunker have tapped into their extroverted thinking critic and introverted thinking parent and used some logic and reasoning to realize that this is completely unnecessary. I understand that many ESTPs confuse fear for excitement. That would be your introverted feeling trickster function at play. When you are wanting to go stock up on supplies to survive, recognize that your body is actually experiencing fear, not excitement. Now, you should be able to recognize that emotion, and you are one step closer to mastering your trickster function. Go ESTPs! Please note that ESTPs are not the only preppers. Preppers can be any personality type. If you recall the toilet paper shortage of 2020, you will know that many personality types stock up after the news tells them the world is falling apart because the stock market crashed nearly 40% that day. March 12, 2020 is now known as Black Thursday. The difference is some of us can see these things coming while the rest have to wait for the event to hit them in the face before they go out stocking up on supplies. For my lovely ESTJs and ENTJs who have introverted feeling in their inferior function, before you have learned to develop this function and gotten comfortable with your feelings and values, your emotions will trigger your fight or flight response in your introverted sensing function. You will quite literally start a fight with the very person you love, or run away, ghost, disappear from that person because of the fear from your inferior function. You are running or fleeing or flighting away from your feelings. Sometimes you are literally running. But I'm sorry to tell you that your feelings go everywhere you go and you will never escape them. This will continue to happen with each and every person you get close to until you face your fear. So recognize what is happening when the response gets triggered through your introverted sensing function, and use that wonderful executive decision maker found inside your prefrontal cortex that is specifically unique to humans that allows us to not respond like animals, but have the ability to achieve higher thinking, and then make a different decision than what you have made every time before. And that is one way for you to develop your inferior function and reduce the triggering you experience from feelings by providing historical data for your introverted sensing to recall. And then eventually you will no longer be triggered by your feelings. And then you can aspire and find bliss and happiness. Please note that All types can experience fight or flight from their feelings. The difference is that the fear won't be due to the inferior slot, like the ESTJs and ENTJs, but due to a past experience where the feeling triggers a bad memory and your fight or flight system. For example, if someone you loved left you in the past and now you are experiencing loving feelings for someone else, that feeling will remind you of the hurt you felt from the rejection and abandonment from the previous person and trigger your fight or flight, which usually results in you either leaving the relationship or becoming so overbearing and clingy that the other person leaves you. You cannot love in fear. You have to face it and overcome it to be able to be loved and to love. Back to introverted sensing. Regarding memory, introverted sensing is related to long-term memory storage and recall. It houses your explicit or consciously evoked memories and your implicit or unconsciously evoked memories. Explicit memory includes episodic and semantic memories. Episodic memories are your personal experiences, and semantic memories are general knowledge and facts like names, dates, and places, aka the details. Implicit memory includes procedural skills, classical conditioning, non-associative, and priming memories. Procedural memory, or skills and habits, is memory formed through routine and repetition. Muscle memory. Once you've done the skill enough times, you no longer need to actively think about performing the task. This can be things that everybody can do, like walking, talking, tying your shoes, driving a car, riding a bike. Or talented skills attained through practice, like playing the piano or knitting a sweater. Once you no longer have to actively recall how to do a procedure, you have moved it from an explicit memory to an implicit memory. And thus, when you access that memory for whatever skill you are doing, it will be just like riding a bike, as they say. Classical conditioning is the ability to learn and remember the relationship between unrelated items. It is also known as Pavlovian or respondent conditioning. You all know about Pavlov's dog. Sorry to tell you, but you are also Pavlov's dog. Let's take Facebook, for example, and the like button. When Facebook added this button and you got your first like, you felt good inside because of release of endorphins. After a few times of this, you would start to get a rush of endorphins just by receiving a new notification, even though you didn't know if it was a like to your post or not. Eventually, you started seeking the high and would check your Facebook even when you hadn't received a new notification, hoping to catch that next like and new wave of the feel-good chemical. Unfortunately, now, people are so addicted to their phones and feel depressed when they don't get enough likes, they have forgotten how to set their phone down and be present with the people directly in front of them. Classical conditioning is how addictions are formed. If you ask any of the tech giant gurus if they let their kids play on these apps, you will learn that they absolutely do not. They know what they are doing. They are classically conditioning you to spend every waking moment on their apps and forget about the rest of the world, and eventually be happy with the lovely new idea they just revealed. Meta, a virtual reality where you will own nothing and you will love it. So they say. This conditioning is also something we do intentionally. Women often joke about having to train their man. This is literally what they are talking about. It can be accomplished through a reward or a punishment system. This is done so over time the man will either repeat what they did and be rewarded, or not repeat what they did to avoid the punishment. If any of you watch The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon did this to Penny to keep her out of his spot. He started giving her pieces of chocolate to reward her and sprayed her in the face with water to punish her. The military performs conditioning to train their soldiers. One example would be to teach them to dissociate during interrogations from the enemy, who is trying to extract information from them. This is done so the soldier doesn't succumb to the pain from the torture and give out intel. This is a learned skill. If you think the military doesn't perform torture on their soldiers to condition them, you are living in a world that is not reality. Non-associative learning, or habituation, is the reduction in response to a specific stimulus after repeated exposures to it. For example, if you live near the railroad tracks, you may habituate to the sounds of the train coming and going, meaning at first it was really fucking loud and you struggled to sleep. But over time, you got used to the noise and now it no longer bothers you or even registers when it goes by. Priming is a phenomenon where exposure to one stimulus influences a response to a subsequent stimulus without conscious guidance or intention. For example, when I say the word green, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Some may say money, others grass. Some may say their shirt if they are wearing a green shirt. These are simple examples of priming. However, priming can also be used against you to get you to do or say what someone else wants you to do without them actually telling you this is what they want you to do. It's a form of subliminal messaging. I'm going to play a clip of the movie Focus with Will Smith and the number 55 scene for a better illustration. This is the part where Will Smith bets B.D. Wong $2 million that he can guess the number of any jersey of Wong's choosing at a football game, and even lets Margot Robbie guess the number for him.
Look, I give you one chance to back down, okay? No hard feelings. Pick.
I guess number... Wait.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I've been around for a long, long year. Stole many a man's soul of faith.
Number 55.
I was around when Jesus Christ had his moment of doubt and pain.
No.
Me damn sure the pilot washed his hands and sealed his face.
No fucking way! That is unbelievable! How did you do that?
Am I right?
Yes! You're fucking right! Fucking shit!
Oh my God.
You're fucking right. That is crazy.
You're not mad?
No fucking
No.
way! I'm not mad. Oh, we have got to go to Vegas right now. I have a jet. Oh, that was incredible. Did you see what she just did? And you have got some big fucking balls. You are my new fucking hero.
Double or nothing?
Oh, no fucking way! Get the fuck out of my suite! Now!
We're good, Coach. Consider your debt settled.
I am going to kill you.
Kill me later.
Nature of my life. Get down in it.
You did great. You did great. You did great.
How did you do that?
Liuan Say, legendary gambler. He bets on everything, anything, huge cash bets all the time. Once the Bellagio put Bill Gates out of the high roller suite because Liuan was flying in. He is the perfect Vic.
How did you know who he was gonna pick?
We told him to. We've been telling him all day. From the moment he left his hotel room, we've been priming him, programming his subconscious. He's been seeing the number 55 all day long. On the elevator, in the lobby, even the stick pin on the doormat. Not only that, we loaded his route from the hotel to the stadium. He looks out the window, primers are everywhere. Now he doesn't see it, but he does. There's no getting around it. He even sees far. Suggestions are everywhere, from the number of flowers in a vase to the tramp stamp on the hooker we sent to his room last night.
That is genius.
Yeah, and it's not only what he sees, it's what he hears. The Mandarin word for 5 is woo. There are 124 woo-woos in sympathy for the devil. Now, he's not registering it, but it's all there. So when he picks up those binoculars, looks out on the field, sees a familiar face with the number 55 on his jersey, some little voice in the back of his mind says, that's it. And he thinks it's intuition, and he picks.
Do you want me to write it down?
And you, being in the dark, was the convincer. We call that the little blind mouse.
Here's another movie clip for your enjoyment of what priming is like when you are no longer oblivious to how society is using it against you.
What's your problem? I said, what's your problem?
How are you today, sir?
Okay, how's it going?
Fine, thank you. Thank you, sir.
What do these things want, and why are they here?
You still don't get it, do you, boy?
They have recruited the rich and the powerful.
They're running the whole show.
Wake up! They're all about you, all around you. Blinded us to the truth.
Take a look. They are safe as long as they are not discovered.
I don't know what they are or where they came from, but we gotta stop them. Stay away from me. Put these on. They have us. Look at them. They're everywhere. Our owners.
We have no other choice.
I don't like this one bit.
Leave it alone, man. It ain't none of my business, ain't none of yours. We have been lulled into a trance.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. We're in trouble. The whole world's in trouble. Control us! You're sending some kind of signals on TV sets.
I've got one that can see.
Mama don't like tattletale.
Now we start spilling some blood. Let's go!
Push a button.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick and I'm all out of bubblegum.
You want to know why someone can say the things you are thinking and finish your sentences? It's because you are basically speaking from a script. The next time you have a conversation, really think about the words you are using. Are you saying something you literally just heard on the news or read in a book as if they are your own thoughts and opinions? Are you speaking in idioms, euphemisms, and platitudes? Chances are, you are. I'm bored and annoyed. Wake up, people. Everyone says the same damn thing. I want to actually hear your real, true, and honest thoughts, ideas, perspectives, and experiences. What do you really think? Stop quoting somebody else and handing me books to read unless you are going to explain it in your own words, why it matters to you, and how it relates to your personal life. Otherwise, I won't get what you want me to understand from that book, because I have different experiences, understandings, and perspectives than you. So tell me all the crazy shit in your head. I don't care if it's weird, fucked up, wrong, goes against the grain, not politically correct, or you think I might think you're crazy. Say it. I want to hear it. I want to know it. Because honestly, you are probably more right than you realize. But everyone is terrified of speaking their truth because of the backlash and rejection they are fearing. The education system has been teaching us what to think, not how to think. That is called indoctrination. You have been memorizing information presented to you as fact, instead of understanding why something is true and how something works. People are regurgitating statements that have been planted into their brain over the course of their life. Sometimes, when I converse with others, it's like I'm reading a damn textbook, because they are using the words straight out of the book rather than being able to explain it in their own words. That to me indicates a lack of understanding and knowledge. You really know and understand what you have learned when you can explain it to a 5-year-old and they get it. Society and the PC Brigade have been placing restrictions on you. Fuck that. I know that goes against what an INFJ is all about. Yes, we like harmony. But times are a-changing, and we need to mix shit up. Tell me what you are really thinking. When many of you think you are having a deep and intimate conversation, You are all essentially saying the same damn thing as everyone else. And it is true, we all struggle with the same issues. Stress over money, fear of abandonment, fear of commitment, fear of being alone, fear of being controlled, fear of missing out, fear of being betrayed, fear of being deceived, fear of being wrong, fear of messing up, etc., etc., etc. Start dealing with your shit and facing your fears before time runs out. Because when you do wake up and see the real reality, you will realize that everything you thought that was real and true was nothing but a fucking illusion hidden in plain sight. Throw away the damn script and stop lying. Tell people, most importantly, tell yourself the truth. Sorry, but somebody needs to call everyone out, so here's that flaming sword of truth for you. Introverted sensing is associated with gathering protocols and details, recalling past experiences, taking precaution, being scheduled and methodical, regulated, uniform, stable, and consistent. It is viewed as routines, discipline, and traditions, and is related to the past or what happened before. It is all for the sake of survival and keeping the fight or flight response in check. Take a high SI user out of their known world, and many will experience stress and anxiety and fear of what could happen. If you practice going outside your comfort zone to create new, good experiences, you can turn that inferior extroverted intuition into seeing all the wonderful possibilities of the unknown, instead of every horrible worst-case scenario which triggers your fight or flight response. Essentially, by practicing extroverted sensing, you can recondition your brain from thinking the unknown is scary and alarming to no longer triggering the alarm when you go into a situation you have never experienced before, and reduce or even eliminate the stress, fear, and anxiety. When you have truly developed your inferior function and aspire, high SI users will actually seek out new ways of doing things and change their extroverted sensing from their nemesis to their ally and create new experiences rather than remaining in their tried and tested comfort zone. The reason history keeps repeating itself is because of introverted sensing and your desire for survival when you experience fear, oftentimes as a result of using your inferior function. In lectures on Jung's typology by Marie-Louise von Franz and James Hillman, it says that the little open door of each individual's inferior function is what contributes to the sum of the collective evil in the world. Every German I knew at the time who fell for Nazism did so on account of his inferior function. The inferior function was in each personal realm the door where some of this collective evil could accumulate. The propaganda used the ordinary suspicions that people had against others on account of their inferior function. She went on to say that the feeling type got caught up in arguments about party doctrine. Intuitive types got caught up in their dependence on money and had to stay in their jobs even though they didn't agree with the value. The thinking types had their inferior feeling aroused. If you want to get a lie across to a thinking type, you have to use a lot of emotion. The sensation types could be persuaded that only dark possibilities existed unless Hitler's vision was embraced. If any of you have been paying attention, you will notice that the news is meant to make you feel fear and to do and to think as they say. Get the jab, wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart, quarantine. This fear is over a virus that has a 99.97% chance of survival. Do the math, folks. Okay, moving on. To hear descriptions of all 8 cognitive functions like you've never heard before, check out the full video Seeking the Soul Part 1 with the link on your screen.